Jumping day again, and this time I wanted to try something different. I wanted to test what my vertical leap is with a few steps. And of course, it's not much, but more interestingly, apart from the fact that when I was rewatching this, I couldn't really make out many details because I'm recording at 30 frames per second. But what I found out is that my penultimate stride is a very puny little step that doesn't really build any power that I can then harvest to jump high. And the more I was rewatching myself, the more I realized how much more acceleration I need to put in to the jump, and how much longer the penultimate stride could be, and that could allow me to go much higher. Of course, it's not really that I was going high to any extent, but there is so much untapped potential, so much more that I can improve with, that it's almost funny. And briefly, I just recorded one of the few sets of my rotator cuff rehab daily routine. This is the last of many sets that I've done, and I ditched going for alternated penultimate strides. I was really just focusing on going as far as I could with my penultimate step, and I didn't really get much higher simply because I am still in the process of learning how to properly transfer the energy from the horizontal running phase into the takeoff. And this is definitely very valuable information that I'm going to use progressing moving forward. And as usual, I was doing Nordic curls after the jumps. I wasn't able to do 5 reps on either the sets that I did, but I went up to 4 on both sets, and they all felt like quality repetitions. It was a solid work on the Nordic curls, which I was supersetting with internal rotations for the shoulder rehab again. Thinking about the Nordic curls and how I want to progress them now, I can see that I am not always able to repeat the same performance as I did the previous day, or maybe another day I'm going to trump the performance that I did previously. So I think I'm going to rely heavily on auto-regulation and how much I can do. I don't want to fail any repetitions, even if allowing for an assisted rep at the end is not the end of the world. I just want to see how much I can naturally progress with these. 4 repetitions, 5 repetitions are a good amount for a set, and I may actually just add sets at this point. So going up to the upper body part of the training session, which was rather long compared to what I'm usually aiming for, but I was spending a lot of time in the jumping part of the workout at the beginning, trying to figure out how to improve things basically. But anyways, looking at the upper body part of the session coming up now, I was ramping up on sets of chin-ups, triples specifically, and I went up to 20 kilos, and I was supersetting that with the overhead presses with the bar and with some mobility work for my squat, which I think could actually improve quite a bit. Just as much in the hip flexion department as in the dorsiflexion, really, which is something that I feel I am neglecting and could potentially give me some benefits there. But anyways, this is 16 kilos and it moved very smoothly. 18 kilos started to feel heavy, and 20 kilos, I did not think I was going to get the 3rd clean rep, but actually I did in the end. And supersetting these was, first I went for overhead presses with just the bar, and I was trying to do as many repetitions as I could, trying to pump as much blood in there, and also focus on the eccentric, which is notoriously my weak point and what probably caused my shoulder pain to begin with. So I did a couple of sets of high repetitions. I did 20 reps with those overhead presses. And as I was moving through the sets, it felt pretty good, to the point where I actually put 2 5-kilo plates on each side and went for 30 kilos. This is the set with 18 kilos on the chin-up, and it looked pretty good. And now when I'm looking at the overhead presses here, there is the first one that I'm actually a bit struggling with a bit. Really trying to find the right path for my shoulder to move in the most congenial way without causing any issue at the rotator cuff level. This is the top set with 20 kilos. and I think it was a pretty good effort. I was controlling all the way down, not going into an overstretch, but the last rep was all the way to the top with a good squeeze at the in the top part, so really happy with that, and finishing it off with an extra set of the 30 kilo overhead press. But yeah, very good effort upper body wise, and in the lower body department I learned something, so that's also good. Ciao.